Therapy Army! Let's be having you, Therapy Army. How are we doing, Therapy Army? Let's be having you. Big up the man, them. Big up the people, them. Big up the woman, them. Big up the non-binary, them. Big up the human family, them. Big up to everybody. Smash a like. There we go, mate. Sabuka Steve, mate. Smash a like. Big up. Big up, man. There you go. Muso, big up, bro. Listen, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be asking the hard questions today on this podcast. It's the realest, rawest, and it's always red pod, people. Welcome. I'm your host, Mr. Structure. We only wish Manchester United had some proper structure, eh? We're here to answer the big questions, people. We're not shying away from everything. We just finished 240th podcast, Straight Jacket podcast, with Saeed TV on Saeed. Saeed will be here shortly. Hopefully, Tom will be here shortly. Big up Khalees. Big up George. Big up everybody. All the early bird massive. Love and light. Big up Khalees. Stupid United Real Therapy. Love and light, brother. King. And yeah, we've got a jam-packed show for you. The big questions we're going to answer today, people, is that are Manchester United ready? Are we ready? Gladiators? Are we ready? I don't think we're ready, but let's go. So today we're going to ask the question, are we ready for the new season? And what have we learned from the tour? Adidas long-term deal equals Glazers staying? Question mark. So yeah, we've got a couple of unanswered questions, people. But we're going to get into it. Big up to everybody that's already here. Big up Sheikh Arian. Arian, you got your results yet? Yeah, I fell asleep after the second. I fell asleep at the first half. I fell asleep, man. I fell asleep in bed with a laptop like that. Yeah, my body was like, nah, we're not having this. We're not having this. That's what my body's like. That's what my body was telling me, people. That's what my body was telling me. My body was like, nah, we're not doing this. We're absolutely not doing this. So my body gave up on me. But big up. There we go. New referee guidelines for the Premier League. EFL will see to crack down on time wasting and dissent. A world cost out amount of injury time. Woohoo! Fascinating. Big up the no, there we go. We got that bit there. Breaking. Manchester United have agreed 10-year extension with Adidas worth at least 90 million. 900 million. Yeah, that's the question we're going to ask. So keep those comments for later, Khalees. We're going to be asking those questions later on about what's going on with this football club. Big up, Saeed. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm all good, man. Apart from the weather, mate. I'm all good, mate. I was up last night, 4 a.m., man. You know what? We've got to give a real dedication to these guys who stay up at 4 in the morning. You know what? Like, can we just give a round of applause to these guys, man?
Honestly, we do. Saeed, that's why I always got nothing but love for the global fan base, mate. Imagine they have to work. They've got lives. They've got children. And they're that dedicated to Manchester United that they literally plan their life around Manchester United. But some of these so-called top Reds will tell you, I've been to Man United since 1950. I'm like, so what? Look at these guys literally making a real sacrifice. Saeed, I'm not lying to you. I was watching it. I wanted to watch the whole game. I woke up like 6 o'clock in the morning with a laptop like at the side of me like that and slid off my chest.
Oh my
laptop slid off my chest, mate. I woke up like that. I just woke up like, oh damn, and then the laptop's there, me in my hand. So
surprised the cat didn't knock it off, man.
No, it's a picture. So... I'm telling you, it was a picture. Somebody needs to take a photo there, man. Honestly, but yeah, that's what it was. But big up, Saeed.
But honestly, dedication.
So let them know, man. 240 straight jacket.
Yeah. So 10 away from 250.
The journey from the journey was from, when was it? It was from the Fruit days, mate. The journey.
Fruit days, man. Big up to Hussein and that, you know what I mean, and whatnot. Man.
Big up the Russian
big up,
boys,
man. Big up, honestly, real originals. But yeah, man, it's been a good podcast with Webby. Good to see Webby, good health.
Yeah, it's good to see Webby looking great, man.
Yeah,
love and life to Webby. Yeah, nothing but love for our Webby.
Always, man. One of the wisest heads in the game. Like, you know, if you ever need like advice or anything like that, just in general, have a chat about United. He knows everything through and through. So big up to Webby, man.
Yeah. Go and check out their channel, people. Webby O'Neill channel. Go and check them out. The content is good. Webby, he likes the flapjacks. I get him this healthy flapjacks. You know, like So I always make
Of
sure that
course.
I give it to him to give him a bit of strength. Yeah, that's why it's like, bring the cake.
Bring the cake. Bring that
Hopefully,
cake
I'm
so
trying
you
to
don't
get a
need to
ticket,
see me.
Saturday, actually. I'm trying to get a ticket for Saturday Lens game. You about, or what are you
I'm not
doing?
going. I'm not going, no, because you know what it is, Noreen. I'll be honest with you. I just want to go on the first game and like makes it kind of exciting. Like the
Oh, yeah,
preseason
yeah.
games. I went to Scotland, man. They've been boring, man. Bro, I was like, I was falling asleep. They're not
Saeed went
great.
to
The
Edinburgh.
atmosphere's not
Saeed was
great.
like, what's going on here? Get me back to my bed.
It's in my bed, mate. But you know what, man? Big up to everybody who's gonna go there, man. If your first experience at Old Trafford, enjoy it. And yeah, man, I have to sit next to corporates next season, man. So I don't know how they're gonna get with me, man, because I'm gonna be shouting. If they tell me to sit down, I'm telling
Where
you
are you
now,
going to
man.
be? Have you moved?
No, no, no. So basically, they've changed the East stand. So the first, I think, is 7 rows are gonna be corporate. And then also other side of my side, that's where Andy has now moved. Obviously, he's kind of gone down. I think a couple is down, but so yeah. So basically, they've moved it so it's corporate now. That's sitting on that seat. But it costs the next seat next to me would cost about 350 quid. So it's more money for the Glazers. You know what I mean, so then imagine I'm paying 30 quid and the guy next to me just because he gets a fancy drink or whatever, he has to pay nearly 500 quid for a ticket. So all these things that people say, oh, but you're going to this and that, bro, they're making money regardless of what you think.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's one of them.
Yeah, man. Big up everybody in the chat. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, man. And make sure you go and check out the Straight Jacket podcast featuring the one and only, the legend, the living legend that is Webby. Webby. So go and check out Webby, man. Webby, yeah.
Yeah,
Go and
man,
check it
big up.
out after you watch this. Saeed, we're gonna get into this, man. We got 2 big questions to answer. We got 2 big questions to answer, and I'll just read it out for everybody. So on today's show, we're gonna go, are we ready for the season? And then the second
Yep.
part of the question, what have we learned from the tour? And then the third
Yep.
question, and the one to end with the show, is Adidas long-term deal equals Glazers staying question mark. So
Yeah.
we're gonna go for it. So let's just go, Saeed. Saeed, obviously you've watched, I'm thinking, you even watched the Wrexham game. I didn't watch the Wrexham game. I didn't watch
No. Listen, that Reds game was too much. I was like, listen, I'm not staying 3:30 in the morning to watch under 21s. I'm not. Big up to them, and I wish
Big
them
up
all
to
the
him.
best. But nah, not for me.
Yeah. So
So
you
yeah, I
watched
didn't
the
watch that one.
Arsenal, Real Madrid, and
Arsenal,
Dortmund.
Lyon, Leeds, Real Madrid, and then this one yesterday. So I've watched
Okay.
all of them apart from Wrexham, all
Okay.
90 minutes as well.
Saeed, what have you learned? Honest, heart on your heart, what have you learned?
Oh, what have I learned? Sancho's found a new role. I think the false nine could be a role for Sancho. I think for me, he's been very, very confident in that role. He's been very explosive. He's got his mojo back, man. And you know what it is? Why I disagree with you when people say, "Oh, last season he was playing unbelievable." Last season was good, but I think this season he's got more of the fundamentals in terms of running, in terms of pressing, in terms of energy, and I just think for me, last season we didn't play like the games last season were, I think they were Liverpool, I think Australian team. There was a couple of Crystal Palace. They weren't great games, if I'm being honest with you. Like in terms of the first teamers playing. So I feel like for me this season, what I've learned more is that obviously Sancho's been playing well in his false nine role and he's actually acclimatized to his role quite well. Onana, his distribution has been amazing. Like honestly, he's a midfielder. Like genuinely, I put a tweet out yesterday, right, Norton? Is that I was like, why don't we put Onana in midfield? I'm sure he could do a good job there. Because honestly, Norton, like the way he's so comfortable on the ball is ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
It's going to still cause a bit of anxiety around Old Trafford, but that's what we need. We need everyone to kind of shake up and say, listen, he's the guy that's going to be playing for Man United, and you have to take this. This is what's going to
No,
happen.
I hope this
So,
is it. You have to take the risks. To be fair, he's
yeah,
quite impressive. He's quite impressive, but
yeah,
because Manchester United have been starved of that. So majority of modern goalkeepers can hit that ball, the ball that hit to Bruno. That's no problem. Majority of modern goalkeepers can play that kind of football or that kind of football.
yep,
It's all right. It's all right. It's just that what makes him different is his positioning. He takes up a lot of high
yes.
positions. That's the only thing that makes him different. But the Premier League is helter skelter, Saeed, and he waits for no man. The Premier League.
He waits for no man, and he also
He
destroys
waits
you.
for no
You know what I
man,
mean?
and you know what? It's not for the fair-hearted, mate. He don't forgive you for little mistakes. You get
You know
punished,
what?
mate.
I hope he's confident but not arrogant at the same time. Like I hope he knows when to do things, when to
And
not
when
do
not to do
things.
it. Yeah, yeah,
Because at the end
yeah,
of the day, you got a guy called Nottingham Forest striker that Adi Bayo or something like that, where
yeah,
he'll be
yeah,
on his coattails and he's going to be aggressive. Ollie Watkins likes to play on the shoulder of defenders, so you've got to be
yeah, yeah.
careful. But I think Onana's experience, he's a leader, he's a assured guy, and I think for me, he knows. Like sometimes can be stupid about players being naive, but
Mhm,
first season it's going to be like that. Noreen. I'm ready for it though. I'm ready for
mhm.
mistakes, and I know it sounds bad saying that, but if you don't have mistakes in you and it's just always flawless, and then you kind of like when it hits you, you don't take it well. Like I think it's going to be bumpy, and then it'll get smooth for Onana in that aspect. So you've got to be ready for the ups and downs. This is part of a new
No, no,
keeper, part
100%.
of a new
Listen,
way.
David De Gea came in, made mistakes. Schmeichel had his fair. Schmeichel actually used to make a lot of
Was
mistakes when people
Schmeichel as
forget.
well?
Yeah, Schmeichel
Was
used
it
to make
okay?
mistakes. Yeah, yeah, man. Schmeichel in the big games, in the big times, he'll pull off incredible saves. But he used to also make mistakes. Let's not get it twisted. He would sometimes, throw the ball out and throw it to their. Listen, he did. But what I liked
Mm.
about him, and actually I didn't know that about him, that he could be a leader as well. What did you make of his bollocking
By the way,
of
first of all,
Maguire?
though, did you see how you see Agbonlahor talking about
Oh God.
he didn't like it and all that. And I was like, this media, by the way, the media are already after Ronaldo in terms of, saying that he had a bad game. And also, Nuruddin, what is it with York and Cole coming out about Onana saying it's all good and well, his feet and all that, but he's got to save. And I don't know, man. I just think for me, it's like, back your guy, man. You just come through the door, welcome him. And you know what I mean? It is what it is. But then again, when
Saeed,
things
but
don't go well,
Saeed, you know that they properly said they need a goalkeeper. We don't understand what he's doing with his feet, but you have to be a good goalkeeper to be in Manchester
but
United number
I
one,
get that,
right?
but they're
But what's
vilifying
taken
of
out
him
of
already.
context? They properly said a lot more, and they said he's
Yeah.
going to get a chance and all that. But what did the media do, Saeed? They take the smallest little
Sound
bit
bites, yeah, sound bites.
and sound bites and then take it massively out of proportion. But you know what? I think they're just skeptical. Saeed, they're as skeptical as I am. And I've said I'm
Yeah.
happy to come on, read it out, and then I'm happy to eat my words. I'm happy to come
Yeah.
on this channel and say,
The way he
Unana,
went at Maguire, oh my days, that was mad. Like he went running to Maguire, said, "You get off, you effing this," and I was like, "Flipping
no,
hell,
he
mate."
basically, what
But
he was saying is that if the ball's not on, you give it back to me. That's what he was
yeah,
saying. If the pass
no,
is
but
not
also
on,
he did. He basically made a mistake because he passed the ball out and then they were out of shape.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? What was
And
more
that's what he
concerning
meant.
though
Yeah, yeah.
was what was more concerning was Johnny Evans. Oh my god. Bro, his turn was like flipping slow-mo mode, mate. He was like, "Whoa." I was like, bro, he
And you know
cannot
what?
play next season.
Nostalgia FC will tell you give him a contract, jobs for the boys. That's what I said. Nostalgia
Nah, that
FC.
was
That's what they're
bad, man.
telling you. Listen, I want to
That was
shout out,
slow
man.
motion.
And anybody wants to ask me about all these thumbnails, man? This is your man, Nura Beats Football Analysis.
Yeah,
Make
big
sure
up
you
to
go
him,
and check
man.
his channel out, man. Go and check his channel out. Deep dive analysis, real football tactical, mate. Go and check him out. And hopefully, when we're going to be doing a show together, fingers crossed. I just need to sort out the date because I know that he's
Oh,
busy
Liverpool
sometimes in
Man
the
United
evenings.
show, yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be good, man.
yeah, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be hopefully working on that. So big up to him. We're going to have it 1 week on here, hopefully 1 week on his channel. So big up to
Big up.
my brother, Nura Beats. Nothing but love. Here we go. Yeah. Well, we'll see about the Greenwood as well. We'll talk about it as well. No problem.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
smash
yeah.
a like
I'm
on the
happy
video.
to talk about
Subscribe
it,
to the
man.
channel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Big up to my brother, Alien Tenno. Alien Tenno's like, Unana blasting Maguire made my
Last in
day.
my day.
You're old school though, Alien Tenno. Some of the young fans might not appreciate that. But guys, we've already got over 100 of you in here. Smash a like on the video. Let us know how many
Give it
likes
the
we got on
likes,
the
man.
video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Jafar, well, Irfan says, Irfan, Ten Hag is fuming yesterday. He said second half, first teamers will never follow the set of the tactics. That's scary. Well, that's why I think, are we ready? Are we genuinely ready? Like, really ready? Because when the manager's coming out
Really
with
ready.
these, like, I don't think we're ready. Ten Hag, I'm only involved, yeah, he's talking about the transfers in terms of him being involved in the transfers. Here, Ten Hag. Yeah, people are already putting the pressure side saying, "Oh, your manager spent 400 million. They need to win the league."
Oh
Listen,
my god, man.
listen. Before he came, we spent $1 billion. It means F all. It
Yeah,
means F
exactly.
all.
Before
And
he came in, we
do I
spent a
believe that
million.
he's got all his first choice midfielders and centre halves and strikers? No, he hasn't. We can clearly know that he hasn't. He hasn't got his first choice. Kim Min-jae was his first choice. By the way, the guy that we were talking about, that the CC guy, is going to Chelsea. Chelsea fans have already got in touch and said to me, when he balls, you owe him an apology. And like I said, if he
Bro,
balls at Chelsea, I'm happy to be wrong.
we'll
But
give you
everything
apologies.
that
But
I
right
watched
now,
and scouted him, Saeed, I'm like,
French Maguire, that's what they're saying online. It's crazy. But you know what it is though? And again, like I said to you, I was kind of like skeptical of that side. I was like, oh man, please do not sign him. Like we've just missed out on Kim Min Jae, and that would be so underwhelming to go and get that signing, seriously. So I'm glad we've not done that. But in the
no.
whole, like I
Apparently,
said,
we're monitoring, according to Romano, we're monitoring the kid from Nice as well.
oh,
The kid
Tadiba,
from
he's good. Now he's good. Now he's good. He would be a good signing. But then you've got to deal with Jim Radcliffe, and he's like, what does he want out of it as well? You know what I mean? Because he'll be like, well, if I'll give you Todibo, but that means I've got to get a stake in United or something like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going on there, but I think ultimately, like I said, you know what I mean. United have done their bit, but they just need to do the last couple of bits now, man. A, sell well, and B, buy the midfielders that we need, and that's Amrabat. But again, Amrabat, I'm hearing yesterday that Al Ali or something like that was getting involved. Saudi Arabia wanted. You know what? I wrote on Amrabat's Instagram, and all the Saudi Arabian people now are coming at me on my DM saying, "You're not getting Amrabat. We're getting him. He's coming to Al Ali." And I'm like, chill out, man. I'm telling you, the amount of people that have swarmed me now on my messages saying, "Oh, you're not getting him. This is our player." And I'm like, boy, crazy.
wow, Saudi
Crazy.
Arabian. You know what? The Saudi Arabian league crew are coming after Saeed.
Bro,
The
I'm telling
Saudi,
you,
you know what they call the Saudi's defense league, mate, are coming after you.
bro, I'm telling you, man, they're building something. Today I seen it, Osimhen, 140 million. Al Hilal, I put an offer in for Osimhen. Al Hilal.
They might get tempted, you know. Napoli, if he goes, they might get
Bro,
tempted, you know. Napoli will take it, you know.
bro, that's a lot for them, you know, to rebuild. They could buy a couple of strikers with that. They could buy a couple of players with that, you know, for the ownership as well. You know, for the city, for the training ground.
Yeah.
Their stadium's old, you know, Nordin. You know how old their
Of
stadium is.
course, yeah.
You
Listen,
know,
I know.
so they
Yeah.
could do with that money, but at the same time, it's one of them where you kind of they've made him one of his own. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they love him over there. The Napoli fans that I speak to, they say like he's one of them. Like, you know, they love
Listen,
him.
you know
They
what,
always
Saeed?
haircuts.
Listen, let's do it now. We'll do it on a straight jacket as well, guys. Next season, if he stays there and they're in the Champions League, me and
Yeah,
Saeed will do it. We'll do a European trip. We'll go to Napoli
yeah,
because Saeed loves this player. We'll go and do it.
yeah,
We'll go and do it. But
yeah,
you just gotta, you know what I mean? If you put the funds up, people, me and Saeed will go there. Put the funds up.
yeah.
Put the
Yeah,
funds up there. We'll go.
definitely.
Honestly, we'll go.
Yeah,
Fund the trip,
Skamaka
mate.
people saying, I don't know what's going on with Skamaka, man.
Nah,
Is
nah.
he
He
even
wants to go
moving?
to
Like,
Roma. He said he wants to go to Roma. He said he came out the other day with a statement. So, Saeed, I want to get your reaction to this. I only saw this quick tweet just before I went live on night after we finished the podcast, yeah. And I think Khalees
yeah,
shared it as well. But listen to this.
big
This
up
is Ten
Khalees.
Hag on Harry Kane. Ten Hag usually says, "I don't want to talk about
I don't want
players
to talk about it.
who
Yep.
are on other clubs." But why you look at him here? Saeed, what do you think this is? Is this a little flirt, wink, wink? Is this a little
Bro, this
flirt
is a
here
wink,
by
wink.
Ten Hag here? Is this a wink,
It's
wink?
a
Or
wink,
is this,
wink desperation. This is like
he's
almost like he's still around. Go and get the player. Because you're right. When he talks about other players, it's like, I don't talk about other players who are not at the club. But all of a sudden, Harry Kane, I have huge respect because he's a great striker, one of the best ever. Maybe he can be the best striker in the Premier League ever in the Premier League. So, but you know what I mean? I don't know, man. He has to win that. He has to win that golden boot. You know, he has to win
that's
that.
what
You know.
that's what he means. That's the most twerking I've seen Eric Ten Hag do about another player. Was he? Is this after they had a glass of wine, or he just looked at a Manchester United lineup?
Bro,
And this is after last night, after seeing
he probably
them
found
look.
out Martial. He probably found out Martial done another hamstring injury, and he was like, "Listen, I need to get this guy in, man, ASAP." But also the fact that Hoyland is still it's still raw, isn't it? Like it's not
Yeah, it's still
someone
raw.
who
It's still raw.
it's still raw, man. You can't just rely on
Yeah,
Hoyland to come in and do everything. Like it's not gonna happen.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah, man, it's
and this
crazy.
is
But that
another.
is twerking though.
That
That's
is
twerking
proper
like on a death
twerking. That
level.
is absolute twerky from Ten Hag. That's the first time I've seen Ten Hag twerk for a player. Ten Hag, sleep, recovery, nutrition, 3 key areas. When you don't do this right, you have a problem. You can't perform. I genuinely think, Saeed, this here is a message to the squad. That I
Yeah,
genuinely don't think he's saying these things on purpose. And the way he's talking about Rashford needed to focus, he's saying something about Rashford's maybe recent lifestyle, all
yeah.
over social media in the summer and all of that kind of stuff. I think he's having
Because you know
I
what it
think
is
he's
though?
having a dig there.
It's all about as well though. Like he wants consistency because he knows that Rashford's career has been up and down. You know what I mean? When you have a contract as well, how many players when they've had a contract at Man United, they've gone downhill?
On the
You know,
Glazer ownership, yeah, they have.
under the Glazer ownership, like it should be a good kind of thing for people to find out, like how a player's performance has gone, and most of them have been downhill.
Saeed, I'm
So
not going to lie to you.
let,
Luke Shaw got his contract pre-season. The energy levels are not there. Rashford, the energy levels are not there. And I think him and those 3 especially, and Bruno, are fatigued from last season. But he carries on, he says here. So when you ask me about Rashford, the same counts for Rafa and every player. You will not reach the levels when you don't have the right
wow,
things right. So
why is he
look,
saying them two though? Why is he saying them two as well?
no, but I think he's comparing because he knows Rafa is the ultimate professional. So he doesn't want to
Oh,
make it out like he's digging out Rashford. Rashford and consider leaving Man FC before the manager Tanaka. Yeah, maybe. Oh, we knew that. That's not a secret.
yeah,
We
yeah,
knew
he
that already.
definitely, yeah, he
If you're
definitely
in and
wanted.
around Manchester, we knew he was done out here. If Ollie was gonna stay, he was on his bike. He
Yeah.
was on his bike, mate. If Ollie was gonna be here, he was on his bike. Oh no, officially, yeah, Liverpool or Van Dijk. Okay. Van Dijk becomes,
Mm.
yeah. Yeah,
'Cause
that's
Henderson's
Liverpool.
left now, isn't he?
Yeah,
So
Henderson's left. Man UFC about new lead chef, Omar Mackenzie. Okay, I know a guy called Mackenzie actually in and around Manchester, but I don't know if it's the right
no,
guy.
no, it's called Mizian, Mizian,
Oh,
Mizian.
Mizian. So see, dyslexia there.
Yeah.
I read that as Mackenzie. Where's the K coming from? Mizian. In January, he has proven a big hit when the players in... bless you! In move encouraged by Eric Ten Hag, my neighbor just did the biggest kind of like sneeze. So I'd have to say
Yeah, it's
bless you.
these, yeah. But
Every player has been
you know
given
what though? That
individual.
play there. Yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, every player has been given an individual nutrition strategy tailored to the specific needs. Saeed, this is what I was talking about on the Straight Jacket podcast on this channel from last year. This is what I was talking about, saying that other clubs have stricter code. So the likes of Juan Basaka and the outside bloody, outside the burger places, that can't
Yeah,
happen. This is the reason why, but go
yeah.
ahead.
No, I'll just say like, the chef. Obviously, Ronaldo was talking about the chef in it, so what I mean, now they've decided to go and get better chefs, better kind of I think even the training ground. I don't know if you've seen it, but United on their YouTube page have been promoting their training facilities now. So all of a sudden now, since the Ronaldo situation's happened, they've been showing their facilities around the training like more and more, and I'm like, damn man, is that because of the pressures of what's been said about them? You know?
Yeah, of course it is. Big up Alien Turner. Big up for the super chat, bro. Appreciate you. Nuruddin Saeed speaking Italian like Barton, Barton with his French. I'll buy that ticket. Me and Saeed outside what is it called? The Don Napoliano, the stadium. Something
Yeah.
Napoliano, yeah? The Maradona, it's named after Maradona, isn't it? Maradona now. It's named after
Maradona, yeah,
Maradona.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Diego
Yeah.
Maradona Napolitano, right? We'll be out there going, Piace,
Yeah.
bellissima, eh? Pasta, bella, fantastico, eh? We'll be doing that, no problem. Honestly, I'm not lying to you. If you want some of us to go on the roads, sponsor you have to make it count, mate. Sponsor the tickets, flights. We'll sort tickets
Yeah.
out, but sponsor the flights, mate. If you sort out the flights, we'll go. We'll take a European tour. It's not that far, when we United are not playing or whatever. We can go to across the, you know what I mean? Go to
Yeah.
across to Italy, Napoli,
We go
and we'll
Europa League. We're
go.
back in the Europa League. We'll go. We'll sack off the Europa League because I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to be in that competition anymore now, man.
Yes,
I'm tired of that.
Saeed, welcome to that club.
Yeah.
See,
No,
you've
especially no,
joined
no,
me.
especially when we're in the Champions League right now. I don't want to be back in that competition just because you know what it is. It just drained me that Thursday nights. Like every Thursday night, watching United on the Thursday night. I'm like, bro, man, allow it,
After
man.
you've already watched Tuesday night football, you've already had the standard
Yeah,
of higher football on the Tuesday and the
yeah,
Wednesday,
man.
and then you bring
Honestly,
yourself down.
guys. Yeah, Champions League, and then we go ahead, man. Like, stop it,
You go,
honestly. You know,
it doesn't fit the champions. And
bro.
then you go,
Hopefully, we get a good group, man. The draw's next month, you know. I think it's no, not even. Is it in? Let me find out. It might be in a couple of weeks, you know. The draw for the
yeah.
Champions League.
Have a look,
So
Saeed. And you know what? I'll say to this comment about Ten Hag saying about 60 games. And also, Ten Hag, the other big teams rotate their players. So you need to take a lever out of your own book, mate. You need to rotate players. But Saeed, we'll go back
yeah.
to the tour. What have you done in terms of the question that I put is that do you think we're ready for the season? You said what you've learned, but do you think we're ready for the season? And I'll give you my point of view.
No, I don't think we're ready for the season. Mainly because I feel like the striker situation is still not solved yet in terms of, you know, he's not here yet. I think for me, midfield balance as well is not there in its entirety. We need to find out who's starting. Is it Wan-Bissaka or is it Dalot? You know, that aspect there needs to be sorted out. So, and then obviously the midfield, sorry, the front three, who's going to be the leading players over there? So I don't think we're prepared, ready. We kind of know what's going on. I don't think the style of play throughout the whole preseason has been consistent for me. Um, so you can only judge it again when you play that first game of the season. You'll only know what's going on, like Webby said before. But right now, if you said to me, "Are we ready for the season?" I'd say no for me. You know what I mean? But it is against Wolves. It is a team where we should be beaten. But again, you never know in these first games where you know you get a bit excited and all of a sudden you lose that first game. So yeah, boy, it ain't easy, is it? It ain't easy when you deep it. You know,
Yeah, big
so
up. Yeah, 100%. Big up, Windy. Yeah,
you
100%.
got
That's
Wendy,
what the
yeah,
club does. The club absolutely rinses everybody to do their commercials, mate. To
yeah.
sponsor this third kit, which is whack anyway. Even if the Glazers weren't there, I would never buy that kit. I think it's one of the ugliest kits I've ever seen Manchester United put out, man.
Yeah.
Give me the pink kit any day. You know what I mean? Give me that kit any day. Give me all the other kits any day. But Windy, yeah, that's what they do. So I don't think we're ready because I genuinely don't think we've had Unana for 2 games for such a key position,
Mm.
and we've not had Hoyland in with us. Manchester United have, if the overall package Atlanta wanted 90 million over a package with add-ons and
Yep,
everything else, yeah. And for
yep,
2 months, Manchester United have negotiated and put it down to 85 as the whole package. So for me, that kid should have been on that US tour. He should have been on that US tour. Manchester United were without a striker, not just at the end of the season, not like somebody left us and put us in it. You know what I mean?
yep,
It was since Ronaldo left. When was that?
yep,
Christmas.
yep.
So I'm sorry, no excuses. None of this murder madness, toxic positivity BS. We're not ready. I don't think we're ready. What have I learned from the tour?
Mm.
I've learned that similar to you. I've seen that, but I still have to be cautious, Saeed, because I've seen a preseason Perlo, Andres Herrera. Sancho might be having that. I want to say I like what I see, but he might be
Yeah.
just that. He might peter out. You know what I mean? He might be just a preseason
But you
Perlo
see
kind
what
of
Ten Hag
business.
said though? He said his energy and vibe is right. You know, he talked about energy and vibe. I don't know why he used the word vibe, but maybe it's because of maybe he thinks that Sancho does go into a shell when things are not going well. So maybe he's at a high now where he's actually right now doing well in that aspect. So I think maybe that's where he's coming from in a certain way. But ultimately, no, Nuruddin, it has to be that you know what he is performing better. It has to be, man, Nuruddin. He has to
Mm.
be performing better. He has to be consistent as well. You know, you can't just do it for 1 month and then not be around for the next. And also, every game you've got to be a 7, 8 out of 10. You can't have 5 or 6. You can't, Nuruddin. This is where, for me, the expectation of Man United have to be high now. Every player must produce at least a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 performance most games. And if you don't, then you've got others who push you and find a way. But what happens in Man United is everyone just goes down to a 6-5, and then we end up drawing or whatever, or having 7-0s, and it's capitulating. So we've got to be on it, on it, on it, on it. You
Yeah,
know?
100%, 120%. And that's why I don't believe it's ready. And then, but Toxic Giddy FC will tell you, oh, yeah, Manchester United have done their thing distance early. So, no, Manchester United have not been scattered like they were last season, like every other transfer, panicking right, left, and
Yeah.
centre. And that's why the quote comes out where he says, no, I have been involved in this. I've been involved in
Yeah.
the transfers. And he said
In the
that, and we showed
transfers,
that.
yeah.
So, yeah. So at the end of the day, for me, I don't think we are ready. I genuinely don't. I don't believe that we're ready. I think with a striker,
You don't believe?
if you had the striker, to me, Mason Mountains, I'm wanting more of a defensive midfielder. We need a cover, Saeed, for Casemiro or somebody to help Casemiro. You talked about it on the
Remember,
Straight Jacket podcast, leaving a number 6 alone by himself, and then people are breaking on our back
and
four.
you've seen it
Nothing
though,
has
the way
changed,
people have
Saeed.
been
Nothing
breaking
has
it.
changed.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed from
No,
last
nothing.
season.
Nothing.
And also,
That's what
we're
I'm trying
not
to say.
keeping the ball up the top. We're not sustaining possession. We're not creating
No,
loads of chances. Nothing has changed in that sense. What has changed?
no, no.
Nothing has
No, you're
changed.
right.
But like I said, it will all to be proven because behind closed doors, all the players, what I've read about all the interviews the players have been giving, they've all said they've been working on new tactics. They might not want to show their hand, keep their cards to their chest. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that they come out with a bang against Wolverhampton. We're at home, aren't we?
Yep.
Monday the 14th.
Monday the 14th of August. Do you know
Hopefully,
what I
I
mean?
hope to be
So
there. Everything crossed. I
yeah,
hope
we
to be
will be
there at
there.
that game. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll be there.
hopefully
Fingers
we'll all
crossed.
be there.
Man UFC want to extend Philosopher's contract agreement is getting closer. Then in the last weeks of the window, a loan deal is most likely option. Yeah, I've said that. I've already known that he's going on a loan. The kid looks like it. Quotes came out last month. The kid saying, "Yeah, most likely I'm going to be sent on loan."
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
there you go. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's crazy. But you know what it is though, with what I think about the midfield situation is that, bro, I've seen it before with Fred and McTominay getting exposed in that midfield where it's just so gaping, the hole's gaping. And I'm like, that
We see
midfield
that in
there, you know
pre-season.
how,
We saw it at Real Madrid game. We saw how
yeah,
quick they were counter-attacking us, how quick they were at our defense.
yeah. And for me, that's not what we need. And I think obviously you have to that triangle has to be a bit more narrower, but you've got players who want to press from the front. So how do we then get Casemiro then pressing with them? Is he going to be that energetic and player that he is, or is he going to be one of them where he wants to work in a specific zone? You know, so I think for me, it's one of them where I worry about the balance, and I think for me, will be like, I told you so. But at the same time, if we want to back the manager, he has to have this new approach now where he wants to press high up the pitch, and you then have some holes. But similar to Jurgen Klopp, the games were like 4-5, 6-3, 4-3. You know, what I mean, these games were crazy under Klopp, that rock and roll style. So it might be that situation, Northern, where that does happen. So you'd hope that, like I said to you, the manager's got the balance right in that aspect. But boy, I don't know, man. I'm worried for that midfield, man. Mason Mount, I've watched him before. It's not as if I've not watched him, so
Yeah, it's going
yeah.
to be interesting. Listen, at this moment in time, for me, the players that Manchester United playing now, I don't rate him, but I'm willing to give him a chance to prove me wrong, 100%. And I'm happy to be wrong. Every Manchester United, because that means he's doing well for Manchester. Manchester United are doing well. But Eric Ten Hag here
Facts.
talking. Eric Ten Hag style, Manchester style next season. What fits the team is transition both ways. But if you want good attacking transition, you need to be good,
Yeah.
very good at pressing. And then he continues to say, so he says, so we work a lot on that at the moment. We are compact. We have to play as a proactive defending. Yeah, we have to do that. That's what his style is, to be fair. But the big thing for me, he's working too much on that, I believe, because he didn't do that on the coaching ground last season because there was 3 games
Yep.
every week. Every 3 days there was a game. But I think this season and within the Champions League, before the cup start, he has to do that because we're going to be
Yep.
playing just one game a week, aren't we, for a while, aren't we, Saeed?
One game a week for a while, and then the Carabao Cup comes in mid-September, and then it's Champions League comes in, and then it's every other week you're playing midweek
Yeah.
until December.
When,
Until December.
Yeah.
and then
So
December
what we have
comes
to
in.
do then is that he has to, for me, he has to kind of like do some more work on the training ground when he's got that week to
Yeah,
week, when he's only got one
yeah.
game a week. You know what I
One
mean?
game a week. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when he does have that one game a week, he's got to be prepared. He's got to be ready. He's got to be active. He's got to just trust the squad as well. You know what I mean? So I think for me overall, like I said, it's good that we're now building a squad for himself and for the team, but also he's got to be ready to kind of give others a chance because I think Palestri's been outstanding this preseason tournament. But again, he doesn't get his chance, man. I just don't know why he's a weapon, man. But again, we'll never know what that weapon is with
Who's
Palestri.
that?
He won't get the opportunity. Palestri.
Yeah, yeah. Saeed. To me, that kid is so good at keeping the ball. He doesn't waste the football. Saeed, is it true you and Leslie are not sitting together anymore?
No, 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 no. I think we're next to each other. Then there's a gap. So I just don't see Andy. Andy will be about a few rows in front of me right now. But yeah, so yeah, we'll be
Le-
still
Le-
together. Yeah,
Leslie's back, mate. Leslie's back. They're not broken up yet. They've not signed the divorce papers yet. There you go.
yeah. No, no,
Saeed,
we're
Saeed
good.
and
We're good.
Leslie back.
And I need to
But
phone her. I've not got my season ticket, by the way. I don't know what's going on. Andy, let me know in the chat because I don't know if they've just, I'm kicked out and banned. Maybe I'm banned because I've been going to these protests.
can
Oh
you
God.
imagine, Saeed? Can you imagine?
You know what's funny as well? Man United now with the season tickets, they're paying people to grass on people now. I've seen that for ticket touting. So you can basically grass on people and they'll pay you, or they've given a hotline to kind of people to grass. It's crazy, man. United, they go through the lengths just to get people tickets and that. It's mad. It's absolutely mad.
Yeah, one positive I take from the team is good. Maybe Ten Hag rotates a lot in the cup games.
I hope
I've
so.
seen
That
in
has
our
to happen
second
this
team.
year. He
Yeah,
cannot play the same team every game. Like,
yeah.
boy, it got to the point now where I was kind of bored of the same players every day. Like when I went to Old Trafford, I was like, oh, it's same team, same team, same team. I get it. You
Big
want
up
to win
Sheikh
trophies,
Arian.
man.
Listen, no football Manchester United fan has ever been after a player like Sheikh Arian is. He says, bring Cancelo Ramos on deadline day. Give him the number 7, Sheikh. Take it off, man.
Wow.
Oh, God. So Luke Shaw, it says Luke Shaw, hopefully there are more additions to come. Well, Luke. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And you know what? The club has not come out and said it's quite worrying, Saeed. The club have not come out
Yeah.
and said what the injury of Malacia is and how long he's out for. We know
Yeah.
Colby's out for 2 months.
Yeah.
So
I
does
don't
that
know.
mean that do you keep now, Saeed? Do you keep Fernandez now?
Alvaro. Surely you have to, man. You know what I mean? But then again, it's like maybe they'll wait until Malacia comes back in mid-August and then let Alvaro Fernandez go. But he's not got minutes now since Wrexham, I believe. He's not played. He played against, no, he didn't play against, did he play against Real Madrid any
Who's
of the
that?
time? He didn't play. Alvaro Fernandez.
No. I know he played against
No.
Arsenal. I think he came in against
No,
Arsenal for
Brandon
me.
Williams has played more games than him. Brandon
Yeah,
Williams has
yeah.
played more games than him. So I don't know
I
what that's
think we're
coming
trying to
from.
put him on a shop window, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
And
Brandon
I
Williams
don't
could.
think he'll make it at United, if I'm being honest with you. I don't see him making it at United. It's another one that
Who?
we're
But
gassing up.
Brandon Williams.
Maybe
Yeah, yeah.
no Alvaro Fernandez. I don't think he'll make it.
You serious?
I don't think he'll make it at United. I just don't
That
believe
that
the
yo, that's a
management will
take,
use
Saeed.
him.
That's a take.
Yeah, I think he's a good player though. I think he's a good player. I think he could play in midfield, me. I think, you know what? When I looked at him, man, I watched his profile and I've watched a couple of games of him. He's very comfortable in possession, tight spots. You know that Daley Blinn role where Daley
Yeah,
Blinn
yeah, yeah.
started off as a left back, went centre back, then went to midfield. I think he can
Why
do that
not?
well where he plays.
Why not? Why not get him in there? And he's good on the tackle, isn't he? What's his speed like?
Yeah, there
I've
you
only
go.
watched. I don't remember him, but is he quite quick? Has he got decent pace?
I think he's got I want to say he's got decent plays, but his ball carrying ability is very, very good. He can drive with the ball. I think
Well,
sometimes
that's
better than pace, because then at least then you're driving with
yeah, yeah.
with possession, etc., etc.
Well,
You know what I mean? So
maybe that's a way to be him. Definitely. Big up Nordin
yeah,
Saeed. Great show. Big up Cully, man. Big up, bro.
always man, big up man.
Big up, love and like. People, how many likes we got on the video? There's nearly 170,
Come
60
on,
of you
man.
in here. Smash a like on
Gotta
the
be
video,
up.
subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 10K, people. We're about 400 away from about 400 or 300 away from 8,000. So let's go, people. Let's go. Giddy army. Giddy army.
Giddy
Therapy
army.
army. Let's go. Saeed, I'm going to
Giddy
go with
army.
this. We all know about the Glazers, yeah? Let us know as well in the comments what have you learned from the tour. Big up Khalees. Khalees says, I think Khalees is telling me that Donny, Saeed, do you agree with this? Do you disagree? Donny, Sancho, Diego, Dalot, Palestri have had a good pre-season.
Let's see. I think
Kobe
for me, you're
Manu
right,
as
yeah.
well before he got injured.
Kobe
Kobe
Manu, man. Kobe
before he got
Manu's
injured.
been very, very good, man. Very, very good for me. And you know what? I like that for me because at the end of the day, it's a good asset to have Kobe Manu as well. Again, hopefully he gets his opportunities as well, you know, and that's another thing that we need to hopefully see. So Kobe Manu as well. Kobe Manu for me has to be in the squad. He's got to play Carabao Cups, FA Cups. Get him in, honestly. Like if we don't get him in, then it's a joke, man. I genuinely think it's a joke if we don't play Kobe Manu somewhere down the line.
Now, 100%, he's got to play. Dan Gore, for me, I'll send him alone.
He's got some abilities that the players don't have. It's quite scary, to be honest with you. He's got abilities that some of these players don't have.
Saeed, I told you about him, Saeed. I told you, Saeed. I kept saying that Easter. I didn't want to gas him up because I'm superstitious. The last person I gassed up is now could be leaving the football club, Mason Greenwood. I swear to you, I didn't want to gas him up, Saeed. I was like, I'm too superstitious. I was touching wood for him. But that kid's ability, the first time I saw him, I was like, wow. Just the way he does it, effort. He makes really not easy things very easy on the eye. These are hard skills, technical abilities, letting the ball run across his body, being strong enough. That's what I said to you. He can play as a 6, as a number 8, even as a number 10. He's good at short passing, Saeed, putting people through. But obviously, the jump between youth team to first team is huge. But him and Garnacho have showed it. They've showed it. They're from that generation, those two players who come out of that team. Yeah, I think Henson, in another year or two, I'll be looking to him. But he needs to go on loan as well.
Yeah, he needs to go on loan as well. You know what I mean? So
Dan Gore, for me,
Dan
Gore's got the minerals.
Well.
He's got the minerals in. He needs to be sent on loan in. He has to go and play football, Saeed.
What do you think of Forson yesterday? Ten Hag, what he did to Forson. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I think it's because he was going to get sent off in it. He got a yellow card in it, and it could have been a red. He said if the VAR was here. Yeah.
But he wasn't listening as well. He kept hogging the ball as well, though, a little bit.
Yeah. But I don't think he minded that. I think he's, as an experienced manager, he's trying to see that this guy is doing that because he wants to impress him. But the main thing is about losing your head. He doesn't want to trust a young footballer, then lose your head, and then we're 10 men down and the game's gone away from us. So that's why. So I'm glad he did that, but he was peak for him. Like the way he's holding him and he's like telling him, listen,
listen, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah. And so sometimes you got to do that, but you got to do it in a lovely way. So let's hope he takes it. He's bouncing into training next time Manchester United are in saying, yes, boss. I hope he doesn't take it the wrong way and then go under his shell. I hope he says, okay, I'm going to go and do that. I'm going to go and prove you wrong, and I'm going to work harder, actually, to show that I've learned my lesson. So big up to him.
Big up to him now. Big up to him, man. Yeah, honestly, because at the end of the day, he's a good player. He sounds like a good kid, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, hopefully he kind of doesn't take, because obviously
sometimes emotions, you know what I mean? You're playing for the first team, emotions can run away from you. That's what I mean. That's the risk you take with young players. The emotion can overwhelm them, and then he can act out in a violent way. I don't actually remember what he did, but I know he got a yellow card. What did he do?
No, basically, he wasn't listening to the manager because he kept basically, like, every time we had a good passenger play, he was hogging the ball. He wasn't releasing quickly.
No. Also, but then
he got incident. But majority of it, Ten Hag was telling him like, "Yo, you need to release the ball quickly." But then obviously that happened as well, and then. You know what I mean?
And I genuinely do think that's what he's saying. That's the reason why he took him off. It's because he didn't want him to get a red card, and he has to learn that you've got to play your game. He said you got to put the ball at the back of the net. You've got to play well. You've got to do something. Yeah, so that's the reason why. New agreement with Adidas said to be the biggest Premier League history. So let's get into this, Saeed. That's the last question of the show. We'll do it. We'll try to do it justice. Manchester United have signed a decade deal, which comes into effect 2025. So 2 years, yeah? It comes in 2 years' time, and it's a 10-year or 9-year contract worth 90 million a year. It's the biggest, but it's also
Is it 90
subject to
million a
change.
year?
90 million a year, yeah.
Wow. That's mad. So the current deal that they've got right now must be a bit lower than that.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
they
it's a
were
bit
getting.
lower. It's a bit lower, yeah, yeah. And
Wow.
also, there's
Again,
no
why would you?
clause from the statement so far. There isn't the clause, the Champions League stage clause on it anymore. So before
Yeah.
the other deal we signed, there was clause where they were like, okay, if you drop out of the Champions League, then we pay less because you're not in the
Can't lie,
Champions
man.
League anymore.
I can't lie. I don't know why Manchester United signed that deal without because they could have easily waited until 2024, 2025 because it's not really
And shopped
technically.
around and shopped around.
Yeah, and shopped around and not really done anything. Or why would you even want to sort it out when you're knowing you're gonna leave? Like, sometimes when you leave a flat or something, a hotel, you know what I mean, and whatnot, like you might say to yourself, right, I might have to clean this or whatever. But in reality, someone else is gonna go in there, so you don't have to worry about it. But it's like, why are they trying to do this right now? That for me gives me the indication that they do want to stay in it. It looks like it's an exciting project. As soon as Man United became attractable, Champions League. They now see that they're playing buying better players. Ten Hag won a trophy. It looks like Man United are turning over a new leaf. Look how they want to be sucked into it and want to try and like make it all about them. Now, that's why I just think it's wrong. But again, I just hope this is not something that we should latch on. Think then that means they're staying. I hope it's just a case of the club has to still work and has to still run. And these are part of the processes. These are part of protocols. Adidas would have said, listen, we want to try and negotiate now, and if we do that, we need to do it now so we can basically get more money. But then again, why would you want to sort something out for the next owners to go and get? Like, why would you want someone to benefit, Nuruddin, on someone else's behalf? You wouldn't, want you?
Well,
Especially
the
if you
other
don't know
side of
them.
the argument. Well, the other side of the argument is that you get more money out of those lot because now you put more value onto the thing. You've already set them up for the commercial lucrative deal, so you want more money. Then they'll add. If they wanted 6 billion, they will add like maybe a couple of 100 million to that 6 billion.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's what some people are saying. But for me, I'm with you,
Shit.
Saeed. I'm with you. Why are you negotiating something like this? And you know that they've been negotiating over a time.
Nuruddin,
So
though. But let me ask you
they've
a
been
question, though. If
negotiating.
it's only
Obviously,
6 if it's only
we,
6 billion, Nuruddin, you're not adding value. I get it, you want a little bit more, but it's still 6 billion. Like, Qatar are not going to be like, oh, you just had a new sponsor. Oh, therefore we must pay. No, we could have sorted that new sponsor out. I could have done that. I could have got a better deal. And you put me in a contract now that I can't get out of.
Now, to be fair,
See
if
what I
new
mean?
owners come in, and they don't want to be part of Adidas, I'm sure they'll be like, nah, not having this.
Is that so though? There might be some sort of,
They
you
might
know what
have
I
to
mean?
pay.
I
They
don't
might
know.
have to
Like,
pay. They might have to pay. You have
that's
to.
what I'm
You can
saying
pay
to you.
yourself out of
You
the
have to pay.
contract.
You have to pay. You have to pay. Maybe you might have to pay out the contract. There might be a clause in there. You have to pay up the 900 million or whatever it is. Sometimes when you're in a contract already, you don't just pay for that 1 year. You have to pay for the whole foreseeable contract you're in.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
this
a
doesn't
phone
come into
contract.
effect. To be fair, Saeed, this doesn't come into effect till 2005. So 2025. So it's interesting. The Glazers still need 1.5 billion. That's what they need, 1.5 billion to be able to build a new stadium, or even more to build to sort out a training ground, and then to also sort out everything else. But big up to my brother Sim Gunner. Sim Gunner said, big up
Big up.
Saeed. New York was great seeing Arsenal versus Manchester United. Blessings to you all. Thoughts on the signing so far. Hope we can talk soon. Hope to talk soon. Listen, big up, bro. Love and light. Big up all the way in there in New York. Um, Blessings. Thoughts on the signings so far. Your signings. You want to talk about Arsenal signings? Well, you've signed 3 good players so far, and it's still not done. You might be getting Raya. So, what do you think to that?
Yeah, listen,
Raya to
man. I don't
Arsenal.
know. It looks like Ramsdale's not. It's not going to be number
Number
one
one, is he?
anymore. I just don't know why you buy a backup for 40 million. Like that don't make sense. By the way, it just doesn't make sense buying a backup for 40 million or someone who's going to have competition. If that's what they want to do, then fair enough. But David Raya will definitely make Ramsdale sweat. That's the way I kind of look at it.
Alien Tunnel, come on now. That's dreamland, isn't it? That's dreamland.
Right, listen,
I doubt it, man.
we've not heard
I very
anything.
much.
Like Nuruddin, we've not heard a word.
It's like
You know, I was in
it's like the
Kenya, right?
sale thing came, Saeed, and then it was like 2 years ago, 10 years ago. That's why it just makes it look like it was like
Yeah.
it was all a blag. None of the media,
I remember I
nobody's
was in
talking about it.
Kenya. I remember I was in Kenya, yeah, and it looked like it was like going to be hearing something imminent. So I was like, "Oh man, I need to get back home, man. I need to, in case there's a party at Old Trafford, etc., etc." And bro, like nothing, Luridin. There's not been a word since. Everything's
Yeah.
just back to normal.
I
Operations are
think
back
we
to
should
normal.
exactly. Big up Khalees from Adidas. I think we should give Donny back to Ajax. He'll happy to go back to Ajax, and then we'll give him money and get Mohamed Kundus. What do you think about that, Saeed?
Mohamed Kudus, yeah, that'll be a good deal actually. He could play in that false nine role as well, so that could be a possibility for him as well. So, but again, it's just a club, innit? What does a club want to do? Like Real Sociedad for me would be a good move as well. Spanish league, that kind of environment. I think that would be a good move for him as well. To be honest with
But
you,
apparently he's not going. Apparently he's not going. Apparently, Khalees is saying that this is from Radio Mallorca. He's saying Donny van de Beek will not be signing for Real Solid. I don't think they agreed on the money or the wages that he wants and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting.
okay.
I think he'd
I'm
be
not gonna
good
lie
in
to you,
German
man.
football. I think he'll be good in German football. I'm not lying to you.
Nah, not for me. I think for me,
I think because the
yeah,
way he
really,
runs, the transitions, the
yeah,
way he runs
the
into
high line,
spaces and
yeah,
finds, yeah. And plus, it's
yeah.
that high action kind of football. I think he might be good for that. I personally think.
Yeah, that's a good point, to be fair, But again, it's like, boy, man, he just needs to go to a club where he can just play football, man. I want to see him at the Euros, man. I want to see him back in the Dutch squad. He needs to be happy, man. You know what I'm saying? For the benefit of everyone, he needs to just be happy and play football. Because you see it yesterday, the touches, man. There's one time, there was a flick on. He flicked it over the defender. And I was like, why? Is that you, Donny? You know what I'm
Saeed, that's
saying?
stunning. But Saeed, I'm not lying to you. We literally killed his career. 2 years of him. That guy sat on the bench for 2 years. Disgraceful treatment by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Power play between him and the people that were buying players that he did not want. This is the type of fucking football club.
Yep.
And the victim is Donny van der Beek. So that's why, for his own sanity, he has to go and play proper football and try to get back in the Dutch thing and get goals and be joyful. And he's got a new family now, baby, his partner. So he has to do it. He got married, didn't he? I'm sure he got married. So yeah, he needs to do that.
Yeah, he got married. Yeah, yeah. So, boy, he's just got to, for me, he's got to look out for himself as well. Like his career, he's just got to, what I'm saying, like do it for himself, man.
Yeah, 100%. The new Adidas deal is why United has signed Rashford before the tour started. The selling of those
Yeah.
shirts is crucial to United, of
But to
course.
be fair, the shirts they get done beforehand, don't they? You know what I mean? Like the club receive that money beforehand anyway. So what they sell on the day is just a bonus. It's more for the shirt numbers and everything. That's how they make the
Yeah,
money.
yeah, that's
The
how they make
shirt
the money.
numbers and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
shirt and the badges as well. Champions League badges now. They'll make more money from that. Like people just putting the badge on their sleeve, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So it's
Listen,
it's it's all of that. But this is what the club is doing, man. It's bad.
yeah, yeah, big up, be safe. Be safe. Listen, so would love done it as a rotation option for his own career. He needs to get a game wherever he can and enjoy his football. 100%. If we didn't buy Mason Mount, I would make the case for Donny to stay. He's falling
Yeah,
down the pecking
yeah.
order.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what it is though, man? It's again something that that Donny doesn't have. Like the sorry, Mason Mount doesn't have. Donny has his own special qualities, but who's ready to be patient for Donny van der Beek? I don't think anybody is. Don't think anybody right now saying, right, Donny, 5 games in a row. It's not going to happen. It's not. He's going to have to be an impact player, a player who can play rotational, a player who can play Carabao Cup, FA Cup, the odd Champions League game. But he ain't going to play.
I genuinely do think McTominay is going to stay, I've got that feeling. And he's the most profitable player Manchester United can get money for. What is it with this
Yeah.
fucking football club, Saeed?
Captain yesterday,
What
that's
is
why.
it?
You see how they put him captain yesterday? Just to give him maybe a bit of price up. The captain. He was a captain for United yesterday. First time I think he's been captain. So,
You got me saved. Yeah. Oh, God. Donny Fodders has gone when Ten Hag got there. The others favoured. Donny was gone when Ten Hag got there. Others favoured Donny McTominay. Yeah, 100%. Listen. Let's set a swearing now. Man is a Manchester United player. Saeed, what did you think about people booing Harry Maguire? Be honest.
Yeah, it's not great, man. There's no point doing it. Nobody wins in that. You know what I mean? I remember when Harry Maguire got booed against Brighton. I didn't boo him. Remember that game when he basically, I think there was something going on, but he got booed against Brighton. He got booed by England, and then everyone thought he was going to get booed by United. There was a couple of boos, but I didn't get involved in that. So it's one of them. I just never boo a player. It just doesn't make sense for me. It's counterproductive, Lordin. You just don't
There
do it.
must
You
be.
don't boo your own players.
No, you don't. To me, I've never honestly. I don't know when I was younger. I think I might have. I might have booed Giggs once. I think I
But he was
booed Giggs
what?
once
What you booed Giggs? Why'd you boo Giggs? What was he?
because
Was he wasteful back in the day?
it was sometimes just so frustrating. Just give the ball away. Back in the day when we were kids, he was a frustrating
Oh,
player. As he got older, he's got more consistent. But at times, he was super frustrating. Plus, he would drive these
oh,
cars and stuff like that. And then he weren't concentrating on his football a bit, and he was always pulling hamstring injuries and always out for the big games. So it was
okay. I
anger.
see
It
you
was a
now.
combination of things. Yeah. Let's get this before we wrap up, people. Christian Eriksen on Rasmus Highland. He's a strong number 9. He's developed a lot in the last year from when I first saw him with the national team. He's a very good player. No, 100%. 100%. I said that.
Yeah.
We've all said that. I've done a scouting report. The improvements he made, if he carries on making the improvements, we've got a player on our hands.
Yep.
If he
It's just
continues that
again, well, like I said
trajectory,
to you,
it's going to
yeah,
be
he's
Saeed,
just got
seriously,
to
what do you
adapt to the
think?
league.
He's going to adapt to the league, but what do you think the pressure is like? He's never going to feel. He's come to the biggest fishbowl ever. Atlanta are a quiet club, very kind of family-oriented club, and he's coming to where his name's going to be trending all over social media. His followers are going to
Yeah.
jump now, triple his followers on social media.
Triple, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. He's a United fan, but sometimes you still got to be humble. You still got to be, patience is key for this kid, man. He's not a world beater now. He's someone who's raw. He's come from the Italian league, a bit slower in that aspect, but bro, he's just got to be. He's got to be ready to be kicked. At a young age. Even if you're 20, you're gonna have to get kicked. So you just gotta be. We just gotta just back the kid, man, and just be ready for everything, man, that comes our way. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I think it'll be exciting for the kid, man. So big up to him.
Yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting, very, very interesting. So, what have you got planned tonight, Saeed? What's the latest? You're not doing any
Big
more
six.
shows tonight?
Big six. No,
What
big
time?
six at 9 o'clock. I think 9. I think it is, or 8. I'm not sure. I have to double check. But other than that, I'm just chilling, man. Got some
So
family
what can
coming
you
up
do
from
though? You can't
London.
even go for a walk before you get to the next one,
Bro,
innit?
I'm
You can't.
telling you, man. Is it still raining now?
It's still raining, still
Still
pissing
raining,
down,
isn't
mate.
it?
I swear to
What
God,
is
where's the
going on,
summer
man?
gone?
Like,
Where's the fucking summer gone, man?
and I'm looking at the weather forecast, and it's just
All
same
week, yeah.
rain.
Yeah, all week, yeah.
What the
Honestly,
fuck?
it's like Manchester United are already punishing us, and they will start punishing us. What's going on here, people?
The football seasons, majority of it's in the winter. So it's barely you get a summer in the season. So it's like, yeah, long day, man.
Yeah.
Long day.
Listen, big up Saeed, man. Big up Tom, wherever he is. He's probably out on his travels.
Where is he today?
Yeah, he's probably away working, innit? He's away working most likely.
Big
So
up, man.
big up to him.
Big
Yeah,
up,
big
Tom.
up to him. And big up to everybody. Please smash a like. There's nearly 170 of you in here. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Go and check out Saeed. You can catch Saeed later on in a big 6. Go and check that out. And also go and make sure you go and check out this if you're not already watched it. Straight Jacket Podcast 240. And we had a special guest on there tonight. Our Webby. Big up our Webby. And hopefully I might go to the game just to see with my own eyes, just to see what it's like on Saturday. But yeah, Saeed's done out here when he's been already in Edinburgh. Saeed was like, I'm out here. Saeed's resting before the real chaos starts.
Man. I'm resting, man. I can't lie to you guys. I'm resting, man. So yeah.
Listen,
like I said,
big up, man. Make sure you go and check out Saeed TV, people. It is the road to 100k, people. Go and check it out. We're on the road to 100k, people. Hardest working people. And if you want us to go and visit other countries to go and watch certain players that we like, then get involved. Big up Darren Webby, mate. Love and light, people. Take care. Peace, love and light, win, lose, draw, Glazers out, bankers out. And this is the real, the raw, and the reddest podcast you can find anywhere, people. None of that toxic positivity here. I'll be live maybe tomorrow or Wednesday to go through a little bit more what the talking points, what comes out. But yeah, Rasmus Højlund, welcome to Manchester United. I hope you take this as an opportunity to put write your name in the stars, bro, in the stars, and make yourself a legend at this football club. You will be loved like nobody. The fact that you're a Manchester United fan is dope. It is what it is. Peace, love, light, take care. Big up, Saeed. Appreciate you, King. Always.
Big up to you, love, man. Anytime, man. Anytime. Big up to you guys.